In this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through how to edit the text in your Canva template. So right now we have the template opened up, and as we can see, there's already some templates here of where the wording, text, and the images should go. So let's say I want to start with the full name. If I double click will allow you to select the words, and you can delete it, you can edit, you can add to it. So we're just going to do a test. So because it said full name, I'm going to put John Doe. Now, if we click it, you can see that there's different editing tools at the top. The first one is the font. So if we click down, you'll be able to play around with different fonts to see which fonts you actually like. You can even search if there's anything specific. If we want to say cursive, it'll show you different cursive font. There's so many different options, so feel free to scroll through to see which text and which font speaks more to you and your brand. Next, we have our size. Here you can decrease and increase the size of your font. Another way that you can increase and decrease the size of the font is just by simply dragging and making it bigger and smaller. Here with this A, you'll see the text color, and that's where you can click in and you can change the color, whether you're choosing the color from your brand kit, or if you want to click here to select a custom color. If you know the color code that you're trying to do, if you know the color code that you actually want to utilize, you can double click here and just put in the color code. Now, different fonts allow you to adjust the settings like bold and italic, but some of them don't. So we're going to find one that actually does. And if we go, we can hit the bold. You want to select it. And we'll hit the bold to make it bold, italics to make it italic. And if we only wanted to do, let's say the last name, let's say we wanted the first name to be regular and the last name to be bold, you could just select the first word by double clicking or just by simply doing a drag. And now we have the first name non-bold and the last name bold. You could do the same thing if we want to do the underline. You can underline the top, or we can just underline the entire thing. This button right here makes all of your text uppercase. So if you want it to be lowercase, you can do it this way. Or if you want it all to be uppercase, you'll just be able to click this button right here. Or if you just want to type correctly and have it the way that it should be, you can do that as well. It's up to you and your preference. Now next we have the alignment. This is if we want our wording to be centered, left, or right. You can also add in your bullet points. Now let's say here, as we see right here, we have our bullet points, which will be this button here. But if we decide to click it again, it'll change it to our number list. So however you want to arrange your list, you can use bullet points or use it. So however you want to arrange your list, you can use the bullet points or you can use the numbered list by clicking this button here. Now this tab is for your spacing. And I'm just going to zoom in a little bit just so we can see it a little bit more. So with the spacing, if we want to do a letter spacing, that's going to be the spacing in between the letters. And as you can see, as we increase it, the gap increases. And as we decrease it, it gets tighter. And we could do the exact same thing for the line. So if we want to increase the spread between the two words, we can increase it or we can decrease it. So now in the effects tab, that's where it gets fun and it gets a little bit tricky. We can add a shadow underneath our text. And as you can see here, we're able to change the color. We're able to adjust the transparency. We can even make it blurrier and softer instead of it being too harsh. You can even change the direction of the shadow, as well as the offset, how far it is from the wording. You can do similar with the lift. The lift is just a good way if you want to create a little drop shadow behind your text. Hollow is another cool effect that you can add to your text. Splice, you can definitely play around with the colors as well here. Outline, you can adjust your color as well as adjust the thickness of the outline. And the background is also another cool one that you can play around with if you wanted to have a nice background behind your text. So you can adjust the transparency. You can adjust the spread, so if you want to be bigger or smaller. And you can even adjust the roundness if you want to be more square or more round. You could also adjust the shape if you want it to be curved or just be regular. Now, if we wanted to move our text around, all you have to do is click the text that you want to move. You'll go to this move tool and you can just drag it and place it wherever you want. Let's say we wanted the text to be on top of the image. We could just drag it right on top there. And if you go to position, position will be where the image is actually placed. So if you go to position, position will actually show you how the text will be arranged. So if we put it backwards, it'll be behind the image. If we put it forward, it'll be on top of the image. If you want to make sure that your text or any of your elements are centered, all you have to do is go back to position and go to center, and it will center it in your template. So I hope that this tutorial was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments and be on the lookout for the next video.